Reading is not just a hobby, it's a superpower. And today we are unlocking the minds, the moments, and the magic behind every great book on Edo Bookshelf, which is a program designed to showcase the importance and productivity of reading culture at all levels. Because when we read, we don't just absorb facts, we build empathy, strengthen focus, and expand our mental maps. Reading connected to the world we have never seen and to part of ourselves we have never met. Edo Bookshelf, raising and projecting literary giants and informed leaders in our society. Tune in with Oseyande Idede and Chelsea Osho, live on EBS Television.
Good day, viewers. Welcome to the program, Edo Bookshelf, reaching you live from EBS TV. Our topic for today is titled Readers Without Writers. I'm Chelsea Osho. With me in the studio is my co-presenter, Idede. Idede, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. All right, my amazing viewers, this is the program coming to you live, Edo Bookshelf. Like I said, our topic for discuss today is titled Readers, Writers Without Readers. Yes, because we are living in times now whereby people, they write and they just keep writing, but there's this thing that is actually picking up. People are just writing the right stories, the right thread, the right captions, and they're just writing. But somehow this question, people are writing without readers. Readers are not there. They're not liking. They're not sharing, and it's actually quite more like a Herculean birch on the neck, because when readers are not there to read what the writers are writing, then what efforts is the writers making? Who is going to read those books that they're writing? It's quite Herculean. It's not encouraging. It's a situation whereby people just sit out there and they're being distracted with so many things, so many areas. We don't know where these are coming from. Because writers take time, to put in their efforts, their pains, their experience, their emotions into writing. And it's very, very disheartening to see that despite all their efforts, people don't buy books. But sometimes people will tell you that they like books. They like books, but they don't read. So when you say you like books and you don't read, and you're just there, you're claiming you write books, how will you say you're a lover of book? How will you say you're promoting reading culture? It's quite disheartening. And this takes us to the question, do we really support writers, or we are actually consuming the content for free? It did it.
There are many parts to this discussion. On the first part, I would like to always take responsibility for the part you can control as a writer. Let me talk from the writer's perspective. Okay. I think we have discussed it here before, like you should work on what you are writing, how you are serving, like that your guest said, how you are serving it to make it entertaining. Yeah. But aside that, now, you also find out that writers too, we need to be more creative in creating the market. Yeah. We were having this discussion the other day at home, and just a family discussion, and then my brother-in-law said something. He said, who told us that 3 square meals is a balanced diet? That even when God fed people in the Bible, he fed them twice, morning and evening. We had the 3 come in. So you now discover that people that wanted to sell those light food, they're the one that actually sold the idea of, you need egg and bread, you need beverage. You should check the main sponsors of those ideas is people that want to market their products. Are you with me? So I think as a writer too, we need to also find a way of promoting reading culture to make people see, because you have to create a market for what you are producing. So you need to find a way to just make them see, people want to buy solution. And nobody wants to just do something because I feel like. When do people feel like, this thing is the solution? Like people, those of you that buy human hair, they'll be able to convince you that you can only look better, that your beauty will be better expressed.
And it's more durable than the synthetic.
Whatever means. But however, I don't want to go to, let me not digress. But they've been able to convince you that...
It's part of the conviction that I'm talking about.
But why I say I don't want to go there, you still want to drag me by fire.
No, I'm not dragging you.
What about those people that have natural hair on their head? You people have convinced them their own does not stretch enough, their own does not do it, but they will not leave the one God gives it to go and buy. Okay, I said, let's not go there. So But give or take, you should be able to make your product look like a solution. And so when it becomes solution, people have the tendency to buy. However, naturally, like in Nigeria, for example, our reading culture has dropped, and it has a long way. Just the same way, there are some things you don't have control over. Like, for example, also, there are some things in life that does not used to be luxury, that are now luxury. Before, I know someone like Passon can decide to go to the canteen every day, standing order, and once he gets there, he wants to buy everything the woman has. Which meat do you have? Is there a roundabout? Is there this? Is there that? But now with the economy, he will now advise himself. He said cholesterol level, I'm aging. I have to now guide my cholesterol level. So just put one meat because of the economy. So no matter how that woman try to prepare the stew, because of the economy, you can't motivate people to buy more. So there are some that we don't have control over. So the system, the culture of the reading culture that is dying there, it might also have a way that it will make it difficult for writers to be able to appeal to readers to buy more books.
Okay, Idede, let me ask you, because you made mention of economy. You're even trying to use Passon as a case study. Now let me ask you, are you trying to say that it is because of economy, that is why people are not buying books?
When we talk about the challenges of poor reading culture in primary school, that was part of the thing. It was even part of what we also discussed on radio today, that people will tell you, who never chop, never read book. Yeah, there are so many instances when I introduce myself as a writer.
Yes.
If I'm well dressed, the person will look at me and say, "But don't be writing, they pack up like this," because they believe how many books you are said to buy this motor, how many books you are said to maintain the car.
But are you also aware that these same people that will give you the excuse that there's no money to buy books, these same people spend money to buy data, to watch movies online, to watch TikTok, to watch YouTube?
There's a bigger part that we don't look into. I told them today on radio that the same parent that tells you, "Oh God, now just pure water I sell, now just mellow I sell." If that child comes on and say, "Mommy, I did kingdom dance for my school," that same mother that did not buy a reader, that did not buy mathematics textbook, we go and find money, say my pikin is part of the people that want to do kingdom dance in their school, and the costume is 5,000. She could not buy 3,000 English textbook. So you see, priority also
and also mindsets.
Yes, that's
mindsets.
So that priority comes in what do they make their priority, and so those are that's why I say this discussion is dimensional, is multidimensional, and so therefore you also find out that one also fall back to the culture. That woman that wants the child to participate in kingdom dance or cultural dance is because of the social satisfaction she gets. Oh, people will come and say, "I saw your daughter
I will be hailing
dance," and all that. So assuming people that read, when we display knowledge, intellectual capacity is also highly respected. Discover that the woman too will be motivated to push that. There were those days where the songs like, this is Yoruba song, I don't know that, but let's say the literal translation that, if you want to be somebody great in society, if you want to shoot, to be making koi, but that you have to read your back away, that you have to read your book, because it was seen that it is educated people that are well dressed, that wear shoes with pointed heels and all that. So those ones motivated. My dad was always using those things as an advice for us then, to make you read that if you want to be great in life. But these look at the kind of music we do. We no longer glorify intellectual capacity. We glorify all whatnot, and so because of that, the motivation is not there. One, I will not be celebrated as a reader. So everybody wants to be celebrated, and so therefore, who book help comes to the question.
But I don't think that happens in no ramifications, because today we have governors, we have presidents, we have senators, we have local government councillors, and I'm very sure they are not dullards. They are learned, they are lettered.
How many of them
they never had that intention to say, "Okay, I'm not going to go to school."
How many of them got the ticket because of their intellectual capacity? How many persons you say, we stand gidigba, this governorship ticket, we are giving this one because he's a professor in space science. We know that when he becomes our governor, he will bring that knowledge. How many got the ticket through that? That's where you should be coming from.
But see, there's something I want you to look at. Whether it doesn't fall in that way, but for the fact that they are lettered, they can read and they can write, and they have that intellectual capacity. It's something.
I refuse to be tempted.
No, I'm not trying to tempt you, but it's just the truth. I remember we once had a vice president. We once had a vice president in this country that was a professor. Okay, now what are you trying to?
Let's digress. Can you use our politicians as an ideal set of educated people.
No. It's not about. What I'm trying to let you know is that majority of them, or let me say some of them, are educated. They are lettered.
You don't even use majority. If you're talking about majority.
I said some of them.
Okay, wait. If you're talking about majority, why do you think every day they keep lowering the standard? Qualification for this thing is primary school certificate, is a secondary school certificate. If they were to push.
But is that applicable in practice?
It's applicable.
Wait, you say they say qualification primary 6.
Yes, they tell you primary 6, SS3.
Your present president now, is he a primary 6 holder?
I see you.
No, it's a question. No, your present president now, is he a primary 6 holder?
I don't know.
The vice president of Nigeria presently now, is he a primary 6 holder?
I don't
know. The
know.
Senate president right now as I'm talking to you, is he a primary 6 holder?
Your
local government chairman from where you come from, is he a primary 6 holder? You should have one. Even our Edo state governor is not a primary 6 holder. The local government chairman is not a primary 6 holder. So the fact that some of them were given the opportunity because of one clock somewhere, that the minimum qualification is primary 6 holder, does not mean all the government political office holders are primary 6 holders. And it doesn't mean that they should just stop there. And it doesn't mean that should be a major bane or a major criteria to take a political seat and govern the people. That is my take.
That's not your take. That's not your take. If all of us are educated and want to actually drive that we are educated,
yes,
it will reflect from the benchmark. They cannot be making a provision for your job, the office you occupy. They cannot be creating an appointment and say this job you can apply. Primary 6 is the minimum. Just have primary 6 first school living certificate, but PhD or whatever, we don't mind. But primary 6 is the minimum. It will be insulting to somebody that wants to apply for that same job with a PhD. Was that not why people queried when the report came out that people applied for truck drivers in Dangote company with PhDs? Was that not why people queried that? How have we gotten so low? Because it was not in tandem.
But do you know those persons that are maybe your PhD holders or master's degree holder that actually applied for the job as drivers? It's possible they actually applied for this job because they don't just want to sit back and don't doing anything, and they're hoping for something better. Okay, do you not want them to sit at home without doing anything because they've not gotten the job that actually suits their PhD holders?
Let's come back to our topic: writers and readers.
Okay.
There are many points we have not addressed before we keep focusing on.
No, you brought the issue of politics.
No, I know that I don't want to go there. You kept on.
You brought the issue of politics.
The issue of piracy is another one.
Yes.
You see,
plagiarism.
People will just write something and then they share. You will find out that people don't even see it as evil. They will tell you they are helping the writer. They say, I'm helping him spread his book. So
and even those part of PDF that is sent to people on WhatsApp, shots, those things also are also part of piracy. Because it affects the writers.
They will say they are helping you, that we help him.
How is he helping you when you're not getting royalties?
So many people read the book. I made it get popular. I shared the book to 500 platforms. That's how they see it. And with that kind of a mindset, it becomes very difficult. And again, some of us don't even know that we're supposed to live on our intellectual property.
That is true.
I remember some time ago, before I started to
and we're supposed to be getting royalties as well.
Before I started to place price on my writing skill, they said, maybe you like to write. Just let me write this article. Or just let me write this story. They said, when I said this one will cost you 5,000. I thought he said you like to.
You just reminded me of someone who actually sent me a message on my WhatsApp some days ago. He said, Chelsea, please, can you help me to review this book? I want you to write it this way. I want you to, without adding any other attachment to it. I was like, are you for real?
And then by the time you leave it there, they'll say she's proud.
Imagine.
Is she the only person that studied?
And maybe because I did it for him the first time, I didn't ask the guy. Maybe that was why he felt, okay, maybe I could still take her for a ride or something. Like I said, the issue of piracy is not just only those that want to reprint books. Those that will also try to, make a soft copies, sending through PDF, sending through platforms like WhatsApp, Instagram, and the rest. They are also part of piracy, and it's actually affecting the writers. Because when writers write books and they cannot get value of what they have written, they cannot get money, they cannot get sales, it affects them. How do they survive? How do the writers survive?
And this is where the system comes into play. Most times they say we blame the government for so much, but the government is everything. I had a very long discussion on the phone with a friend of mine that stays outside Nigeria. And I was telling him that, you see, there are some things that make people outside there look as if they are more sensible than us. If you go online, for example, you will see somebody's job in the US, music writer. He's living on it. He writes music. He's not an artist now, but he writes music for artists. They pay him.
Yeah.
And then you come here in Nigeria that even if you write, people want to give you ghostwriter, a full novel to write. And if they can make you do it for meat pie and coke, a piece of meat pie and a bottle of coke, their conscience would not prick them because they just feel that is the system, that is how it works. Are you with me? And so you now find out that things like that becomes our culture. And so you now also find out that because people we have learned not to pay for things like that, it becomes very difficult also for people to even think of paying for it. People are tempted to just feel this is how this thing works. Like I said, they say maybe you like it, maybe it's your hobby. Not knowing that skill you've learned it, even if you did not study it in university, it took you time to learn it, to develop it in a way that makes that person to feel he should reach out to you to offer such services. And so that's where the government comes in. You will complain online, even if you feel like, I see Beautiful Nubia the other day was dragging gospel artists, so I don't want to mention their names, so some gospel artists that, look at the songs they wrote. Those were his original songs. Because he is not a gospel artist, because he's a traditional man, let me put it that way. And so, but the deep traditional core values, then I just put God into it. But the meaning of those songs, the roots of those songs, they are his songs. And he does not just write songs. He writes from his soul. That's what he calls himself. That he writes from his soul. I think he practices Ifa also. And so you find it that he was not happy. And the people will now come and say he should be happy that they make you popular. Like, I don't understand. Did he tell you that he was looking for popularity?
Yeah.
If he wanted to look for popularity, he knows how to promote his things on social media and gets the popularity that he wants. And then when you now complain that, oh, this person just came and is begging me for my book without even thinking of paying, this person, they will come and say, they've not known you, you've not blow, you cannot even say give somebody books for free. If you keep giving the person book for free, where will you see the money to go?
Of course. That's another question I said I was going to ask, because sometimes there are situations whereby they may just, okay, this is a complimenting, they have given you this for just a complimented copy. Yes. How many people are you going to do that to? 10, 20, 30? And you know the cost of producing books now, publishing books, is expensive.
And when you even give complimentary copies, you give
extraordinarily
complimentary copies
expensive
to people that read.
Yes.
I went somewhere, it was even my family member. I gave the person my book, my first book that I wrote. I was excited, I was sharing it. I went to her house. When I saw the state of the book, I picked my book back. He said, "Are you taking it?" I said, "I'm taking it away." You are not reading it. The book is on the floor.
Yeah.
It's wasting. It was my money. I used to produce the book. I took the book away. So ever since when I write books, I prefer to give somebody that loves reading. Even if you are the governor and you don't read, I won't give.
If I were in your shoes, I would do the same thing. If I give you a book and I notice you just dumped it somewhere, you don't read it, of course I'll come back and take the book, because you're actually telling me indirectly that you don't love reading, that books doesn't make sense to you. There's no reason for you to read a book. So I will definitely come back and pick the book. All right, my amazing viewers, you're still onto the program, Edo Book Chef, reaching you live from EBS TV. Our topic to discuss has been writers without readers. Stay tuned, we'll be back soon.
Reading is not just a hobby, it's a superpower. And today we are unlocking the minds, the moments, and the magic behind every great book on Edo Bookshelf, which is a program designed to showcase the importance and productivity of reading culture at all levels. Because when we read, we don't just absorb facts, we build empathy, strengthen focus, and expand our mental maps. Reading connected to the world we have never seen and to part of ourselves we have never met. Edo Bookshelf, raising and projecting literary giants and informed leaders in our society. Tune in with Oseyande Idede and Chelsea Osho, live on EBS Television.
Welcome back to the program, Edo Bookshelf, reaching you live from EBS TV. Well, before we go into that short break, my co-presenter was saying that if he finds out that he gives someone a book and that person is not actually reading the book, he will actually go back and say, please give me my book because you're not reading, it doesn't make sense to you. And actually said, if I were in that shoes, I would do the same thing. And now that takes me to this question, Idede. Do you think all this is as a result of the fact that not just because people don't want to read, is it because the value has been changed?
People don't know the value.
Yes.
So because people don't know the value, so when the value of a thing is not known, abuse.
Abuse is inevitable.
So people don't know the value of reading, and most times too, you find out that that's why you try. Maybe you're trying to release a book, you keep doing some free episodes, and you now say, for more details, buy the book. That's where they will stop. They don't want to even find out what is on the other side.
Yeah.
And I keep telling them, because as someone that deals with the youth very much in my ministry, I keep telling them that you need to be, knowledge it gives you an advantage.
Sure.
I heard the MD the other day talking on the show that, I think it was Dave Wesley also, that he's privileged to have mature friends.
Yes.
And so because when he goes with those mature ones, he gets something. When he comes with his mate, he's like their boss. Because of that, that's what reading does to you.
That's part of the principle of contact.
Yeah, that's what reading does to you. It gives you, when you talk, most of the time when I talk, they'll say you look older than your age because of, it's just books.
Yeah.
It's just books. You are reading a book now that talks about emotions. You are not an emotional expert, but because you have read a book that's about an emotional expert, you will flow in the wisdom
that same wisdom, and that's in line.
So when you are constantly person, it looks small, but what's in this head? That's the advantage that reading does for people. And I don't know why it's difficult for people to see.
All right, my amazing viewers, time is not much on our side. Before I draw the curtains close, I would like to ask you, you're watching me right now, do you love books? Do you like reading? Are you a supporter of writers, or you just want to consume their content for free? If you are in that category, I want to let you know that you are not helping writers and you're not supporting writers. And I want to let you know also that knowledge is power. The more you read, the more you inform. And if you're not informed, you are deformed. Thank you for tuning in on today's episode. I am Chelsea Osho. I'll see you again in 7 days' time, God's willing. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Pay for books, pay for content.
Reading is not just a hobby, it's a superpower. And today we are unlocking the minds, the moments, and the magic behind every great book on Edo Bookshelf, which is a program designed to showcase the importance and productivity of reading culture at all levels. Because when we read, we don't just absorb facts, we build empathy, strengthen focus, and expand our mental maps. Reading connected to the world we have never seen and to part of ourselves we have never met. Edo Bookshelf, raising and projecting literary giants and informed leaders in our society. Tune in with Oseyande Idede and Chelsea Osho live on EBS Television.